Have you ever felt like your mind is a perpetual motion machine, constantly whirring, analyzing, replaying, and forecasting, long after everyone else has found peace? You know that feeling, don't you? That subtle, relentless hum beneath the surface of your everyday life, a hidden conversation that most people never realize is happening within you. It's a quiet truth, often misunderstood, often criticized, yet it's profoundly shaping your world. What if I told you that this very tendency, this deep dive into every nuance, this intricate dance of what-ifs and should-haves, isn't a flaw to be fixed, but a sophisticated, often brilliant, mechanism? What if the very thing you've been told is a weakness, is actually a profound, untapped superpower waiting to be understood and harnessed? In this video, we are going to dive deep into the psychology of the overthinker, exploring not just the challenges, but the hidden strengths, the profound wisdom, and the unique path back to your most authentic self that lies within this often maligned trait. Perhaps you recognize yourself in this description. You find yourself replaying conversations from days, even weeks ago, dissecting every word, every glance, searching for hidden meanings or potential missteps. You might spend hours agonizing over a decision that seems simple to others, weighing every conceivable outcome, every possible ripple effect, until the sheer weight of possibilities leaves you paralyzed. You might avoid the phone, preferring the carefully crafted words of a text or email, because the spontaneity of a call feels like an unpredictable ocean you're not quite ready to navigate. You struggle to simply let go, to be in the moment, because your mind is always 5 steps ahead or 10 steps back, rarely content with the gentle rhythm of the now. This constant mental activity, this relentless internal dialogue, can be utterly exhausting, can't it? It's like running a marathon every single day, not with your body, but with your mind. And yet, from the outside, you might appear calm, collected, even detached. You feel unseen in this quiet struggle, as if you're carrying a secret burden that no one else can truly comprehend. The world often misinterprets this deeper emotional process, seeing hesitation where there is careful consideration, seeing anxiety where there is profound empathy, seeing avoidance where there is a deep need for self-preservation. You might even feel a sense of shame, wishing you could just turn it off, wishing you could be more carefree, more spontaneous, more like everyone else. But beneath this constant mental hum, there's a deeper truth, one that most people never even glimpse. This isn't just random worrying. It's a highly evolved, deeply ingrained survival strategy. Think about it. Your mind, once a quiet garden, became a fortress, built brick by careful thought, not to keep others out, but to keep you safe. This isn't a flaw, it's a testament to your incredible capacity for self-protection, a sophisticated defense mechanism honed over years, perhaps even decades. Where does this come from? Often, it traces back to experiences where certainty felt elusive, where safety was conditional, or where your environment demanded constant vigilance. Perhaps as a child, you learned that anticipating every potential problem, every shift in mood, every unspoken expectation, was the only way to navigate a complex emotional landscape. Maybe you grew up in an environment where being strong meant suppressing your own needs and feelings, leading your mind to become an internal detective, trying to solve emotional puzzles that had no clear answers. This hypervigilance, this intense focus on potential threats or negative outcomes, wasn't a choice. It was a learned response, a way to exert control in situations where you felt powerless. Your mind became a meticulous archivist, storing every detail, every interaction, every potential data point, believing that if you just analyzed enough, you could prevent future pain. What if this relentless analysis was once the only way you knew how to stay safe? This isn't just about childhood, either. Sometimes, it's an inherited pattern, a sensitivity passed down through generations, a deep attunement to the subtle energies of the world. Or it could be a response to the immense pressure to perform, to succeed, to always be on in our modern world, where mistakes are often magnified and vulnerability is sometimes seen as a weakness. Your overthinking, in this light, is a form of self-concept protection, a way to maintain a sense of competence and control in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. It's a deep, albeit sometimes misdirected form of emotional intelligence, an attempt to understand and master the complexities of human interaction and your own inner world. Now, let's take a deep dive into the landscape of your mind, using some metaphorical imagery to truly understand what's happening. Imagine your emotions not as problems to be solved, but as messengers, carrying vital information. When you overthink, it's often because you're trying to decode these messages, to understand their implications, to predict their next move, rather than simply receiving them. Your thoughts can become like a tangled forest, dense and overwhelming, where every path seems to lead to another question, another doubt, another potential pitfall. You wander through this forest, desperately searching for a clearing, for a definitive answer. But the more you search, the deeper you seem to get. And what about your heart? Your heart is not fragile glass. It is tempered steel. It has endured, it has felt deeply, and it has learned to protect itself. Sometimes, overthinking becomes a shield, a way to create distance from intense feelings, a form of emotional blunting. You might intellectualize your pain, analyze your grief, or strategize your joy, rather than simply allowing yourself to feel it fully. It's as if your mind is trying to build a dam against the powerful currents of your emotions, believing that if it can just control the flow, it can prevent a flood. But what happens when the very mechanism designed to protect you starts to imprison you? Consider the weight of unspoken words, of unexpressed feelings. They don't just disappear, they accumulate, like stones in a backpack, making your journey heavier. Your past whispers your name through echoes of old patterns, old fears, old expectations, and your overthinking mind, in its earnest attempt to make sense of these echoes, often amplifies them, turning whispers into shouts. And sometimes, avoidance, that quiet retreat into your own thoughts, turns quiet time into a cage, a self-imposed isolation where you feel safe, but also profoundly alone. But here's the profound truth, the transformation we've been building towards. This perceived weakness is actually the source of a profound strength. Your sensitivity, which might feel like a burden, is actually a superpower of clarity. You notice details others miss. You feel nuances others ignore. You perceive connections others overlook. This isn't a flaw. It's an advanced form of perception, an intuitive understanding of the world that, when properly directed, can lead to incredible insights, deep empathy, and innovative solutions. Imagine if you could harness this incredible mental energy, not to worry, but to create, to understand, to truly live. Your introspection, that deep dive into your own inner world, isn't navel-gazing. It's a powerful tool for self-awareness and growth. It allows you to understand your motivations, your fears, your desires, with a depth that many never achieve. Your ability to analyze, to consider multiple perspectives, makes you an exceptional problem solver, a thoughtful planner, and a deeply compassionate friend. Distance, that need for space and solitude, isn't avoidance in its truest sense. It's self-preservation, a wisdom that understands your need to recharge, to process, to simply be, away from the overwhelming stimuli of the world. It's a recognition of your own energetic boundaries, a vital act of self-care. The path forward isn't about fixing your overthinking, because it's not broken. It's about honesty and awareness. It's about recognizing the origins of this powerful mental capacity and gently, compassionately, redirecting its energy. It's about understanding that your mind, in its attempt to protect you, has sometimes created intricate labyrinths that now keep you from fully experiencing life. The goal isn't to silence your mind entirely, that's an impossible and undesirable task, but to change your relationship with it, to become the mindful observer rather than the captive participant. But how do you begin to untangle a lifetime of intricate mental habits? It starts with a series of deliberate, compassionate steps. Step 1. Acknowledge the messenger, don't judge the message. When a wave of overthinking washes over you, instead of fighting it or judging yourself for it, simply say, there it is again. My mind is trying to process something. This simple act of acknowledgement creates a tiny space between you and your thoughts. Remember, your thoughts are not you. They are simply mental events. Step 2. Observe, don't absorb. Practice observing your thoughts as if they are clouds passing in the sky, or leaves floating down a stream. You see them, you notice their shape and speed, but you don't jump on them and ride them away. This is a core principle of mindfulness. For example, if you find yourself replaying a conversation, instead of getting caught in the loop, consciously tell yourself, I am noticing the thought of replaying that conversation. This subtle shift in language creates distance. Step 3. The 5-minute rule for rumination. If you feel the urge to overthink a particular issue, give yourself a strict time limit. Say, 5 minutes. Set a timer. During those 5 minutes, Allow yourself to fully engage with the thoughts, to analyze, to worry. But when the timer goes off, you consciously and firmly shift your attention to something else. This trains your brain that there's a time and place for deep analysis, and it doesn't need to be all the time. Step 4. Grounding techniques. Anchor yourself in the present. Overthinking often pulls you into the past or the future. To counteract this, engage your senses. Look around you and name 5 things you can see. Listen for 4 things you can hear. Feel 3 things you can touch. Notice 2 things you can smell. Take 1 deep breath. This simple exercise brings you back to the undeniable reality of the present moment, interrupting the mental loop. Step 5. Seek clarity, not certainty. Overthinkers often crave absolute certainty, but life is inherently uncertain. Shift your goal from finding the answer to finding enough clarity to take the next step. Embrace the idea that sometimes the best decision is made with imperfect information, and that growth often happens in the gray areas. Ask yourself, what is the time's next logical step I can take with the information I have now, rather than what is the perfect solution to this entire problem? Step 6. Reframe your inner critic as an inner guide. That voice that constantly points out potential flaws or dangers. It's often trying to protect you, albeit clumsily. Instead of fighting it, acknowledge its intention. Say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I've got this." Or, "I hear your concern, and I will consider it, but I won't let it paralyze me." This is about integrating your shadow self, understanding that even the parts of you that cause discomfort have a positive, albeit misguided, intention. Step 7. Cultivate self-compassion. Be your own best friend. You wouldn't harshly judge a friend who was struggling with their thoughts, would you? Extend that same kindness to yourself. Recognize that your overthinking comes from a place of trying to cope, trying to understand, trying to protect. Treat yourself with the same warmth, understanding, and patience you would offer to someone you deeply care about. This is crucial for healing. Step 8. Connect with your body. The unspoken language. Your mind and body are intimately connected. Overthinking often disconnects us from our physical sensations. Engage in activities that bring you into your body. Walking, dancing, yoga, deep breathing exercises. This helps to discharge some of that pent-up mental energy and brings you back into a state of embodied presence. Your body holds wisdom that your mind often overlooks. Step 9. Creative expression. Channel the torrent. Overthinking is a massive amount of mental energy. Instead of letting it swirl destructively, channel it creatively. Write, paint, draw, play music, build something. Give your mind a constructive outlet for its intense processing power. This transforms the internal monologue into external creation, allowing you to see the tangible results of your mental energy. Step 10. Define your enough. When is the analysis complete? This is perhaps one of the most challenging but liberating steps. For overthinkers, there's always one more thing to consider. Consciously decide for each situation what constitutes enough information, enough analysis, enough planning. Set a mental boundary. It might not feel perfect, but it will be sufficient. This is about trusting your intuition and your capacity to adapt, rather than relying solely on exhaustive mental preparation. What if the very parts of yourself you've tried to silence hold the key to your deepest wisdom? The world often misinterprets this deeper emotional process, seeing hesitation where there is careful consideration, seeing anxiety where there is profound empathy, seeing avoidance where there is a deep need for self-preservation. But you, the overthinker, possess a unique capacity for depth, for insight, for understanding the intricate tapestry of life. This isn't a burden, it's a gift, a highly sensitive instrument for navigating the world. Your journey isn't about becoming someone you're not, but about truly understanding and embracing who you are. It's about recognizing that your overthinking, once a survival mechanism, can now be transformed into a powerful tool for conscious living. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity and acceptance. It's about integrating all parts of yourself, even the ones that feel challenging, and realizing that they all contribute to the unique, brilliant individual you are. So, dare to see your overthinking not as a burden, but as a compass pointing you home. It's a unique path back to your real self, a journey of profound self-discovery and empowerment. Embrace the silent language of your overthinking mind, for within its depths lies not just complexity, but unparalleled wisdom, empathy, and the extraordinary capacity to live a life of profound meaning. The world needs your depth, your insight, your carefully considered perspective. Don't dim your light. Learn to direct its powerful beam. Your mind is not a problem. It is a masterpiece in progress. What will you create with it today?